Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and this is my channel Sewing Bunny, and thank you for joining me in my video today, which is my Selfless Sew April vlog. So if you're wondering what this is a challenge which has been run by three lovely ladies from the sewing community. It's run by Claire from Stitch Hem Sew, Crystal from My Social Thread, and Adele from Sew for Serenity. And they've got together to form this challenge, which, as the title suggests, it's making things that isn't for yourself. So for anybody else, which, you know, is selfless sewing. So yeah, if you need some more details on that, so if you're on Instagram, then the date to reveal your picture to be in with winning a prize is the 30th of April. And what you need to do is post your picture up with the hashtag, let me make sure I get it right, Selfless Sew April 23, and just make sure that you pop in the ladies who run the competition, tag them in, that's what I'm thinking of. So you've got yeah, Stitch Hem Sew, My Social Thread, and Sew for Serenity. They've got a whole load of like prizes and things going on for this challenge. So I won't go into too much detail kind of on that, because I'm sure if you do follow them, then they would have explained probably a lot more. But I will link their channels down below in the description box, so you can check out what they've got. So you've got a whole load of sewing vloggers as well coming to you throughout the month of April with all of their plans and ideas of what you could do for the challenge. So I'm here to share mine. So I will try and keep this reasonably brief for you, because there's going to be lots and lots of videos for you to get through. But I was thinking, well, what can I do for Selfless Sew April? And what sprang to mind for me instantly is actually something that I was planning on doing this year anyway. And this challenge has actually just kind of thought, you know, yes, I can make a start on it. And that is doing some sewing for charity. Now, there are so many charities, you know, that you can sew for, but I want to pick ones that are close to my heart. If you know me at all, or if you can just see from what I'm wearing, I love cats. I have two adorable cats called Misty and Bentley. And they came from the charity Cats Protection. I also have a very close friend of mine who works for the charity, and I just know how much work goes into caring for the cats. You know, all the stories, you know, good and bad. And my friend who works for the Cats Protection has you know, helped me get my two lovely cats. And if you are familiar with my channel, you may know what characters they are. And yeah, I just kind of thought, you know what, that is a charity that is close to my heart, and I would like to do something for them. So I spoke to my friend to kind of say, look, I know that, you know, people might knit blankets and things like that, but is there anything that I could potentially do sewing wise that you know, would be helpful? Now I've started, I say really started, learning a little bit of quilting. I've made one quilt, my first ever quilt, which was a lap blanket for my cats. So when I'm sitting there watching the TV, if they want to come over and, you know, sit on my lap, I can pop this little lap quilt on and they can get themselves all nice and cozy, and it saves me getting fluff all over me. And I showed this to my friend and she was like, we would love those sort of things. And she said that there are two potential sort of things that I could make which they would find really helpful, which would be basically doing those kind of lap quilts for them to sell. So when they have like their sort of charity sort of open days, or when people will adopt a cat, they might say, you know, are you interested in purchasing any of these items? And so she thought that would be a lovely idea. And also the other idea is that every cat sort of pen that they have at Cats Protection has these little like cat forts. They're called like hide and sleep. sort of cat forts, and it's just so that the cats can, you know, either sleep at the top of it or make themselves a bit hidden sort of underneath. And she said that making maybe like a sort of quilt to sit in like the top section would be really nice, because it's quite sort of like a small sort of top section, so they don't want anything too sort of bulky to go in there. So kind of like a nice sort of quilt would sit really nicely in that and be really comfortable for the cats. Now, I know some people might think, you know, oh, do you really want to make something, you know, that's handmade that they could, you know, claw at and everything? But I'm so new to quilting that this will give me an opportunity to practice, you know, maybe some quilting techniques or like different shapes and things, and really not worry too much about if I make a bit of a mess of it. Because then, you know, it's practice, and then I know that the item will go to use, and some lovely cat will hopefully enjoy my little quilt. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on making a few of those ones that will fit in the top of the forts, and then make some really basic, just kind of square patchwork quilts, maybe for some lap quilts. Now, I'm doing this as part of Selfless Sew April, but I am actually planning on doing this just throughout the rest of the year as well, and maybe beyond, because what I've got a lot of is fat quarters. Now, I subscribe to the Sew Hayley Jane box, and I've got loads of fat quarters, probably actually too many for me to make sort of as a everyday sort of thing. I mean, you get 4 fat quarters a month in my classic box. So I do make them up into like little bags or gift bags, or, you know, little gifts here and there, but I still have quite a lot of them. So I thought, let's use some fat quarters. So what I thought I would share with you, just as kind of, I guess, some inspiration as to kind of what I'm going to be doing, is some of the designs that I might be doing. So first off, yeah, fat quarters. So I am thinking of using 4 fat quarters each time for what I'm going to be doing. Now, if I'm going to be making the little quilt that sits in the top of the like little hide and sleep unit, 4 fat quarters will probably get me maybe 3 of those like little quilts to put in the top. So 4 fat quarters for 3 different ones of those will be absolutely perfect. So I've picked out a few of my fat quarters as kind of ones that I might do. And so what I would need is, I've worked out that I probably need about 3 fat quarters for maybe the main design, and then another fat quarter for the reverse of it, or the binding. So this is just like the little cat fort ones that I'm thinking of. So I've picked out some which I thought would go really nicely together. So these ones came in a Sew Hayley Jane box, which is like this sort of purpley kind of colours. So I thought this would be a really nice one there. So as an example, I could potentially use maybe these 3 to have like a little design, and then use this one as the backing or the binding, or maybe even this one might be nice to use as the binding and the backing, and have those as the design. I mean, I'm thinking potentially something quite simple and straightforward. I did like a tiny little mock-up of it to show my friend, just for kind of like sizing and everything. So this one is like a little mock-up that I've done. I need to make it a little bit bigger, because I think when I measured it all up, I need to, yeah, just make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to add maybe some strips to the sides and things, just to make it a little bit bigger. But you can see here I've used 3 different fat quarter pieces, and then I can use another bit for the binding and the reverse. So I thought, yep, I could use those. I've also found these which has like little fishes on, so I thought that would be really nice for the cats as well. So if I opened these out, these were kind of like a under the sea sort of theme. So you've got like little mermaid scales and some of the coral. So I thought that would be really nice. So again, I could potentially use, let's say, you know, those 3 for like the design, and then this one for the binding and the backing. I've also, in a recent box as well, got these lovely blue ones, which again I thought would be really nice to use up there. So really nice blue ones. And I thought maybe I could use maybe this one as the binding and the reverse. And then yes, also just plain simple black and white ones. These ones were in a box absolutely ages ago and I hadn't used them. So again, that would be really nice. Maybe I would use those three as like a little patchwork and then have this one as the binding and the reverse. So loads and loads of ideas. Also, if I did want to make the larger sort of lap quilt, potentially the one fat quarter wouldn't be big enough to do the reverse. So I had a look at my fabric stash to kind of see, well, actually what cottons have I got that would be suitable for binding and the reverse. And I came across, again, this one came in a So Hayley Jane box, this sort of like purple colour. And I thought, well, that would work really well with maybe like some of the fishy designs, and also it would work really nicely for the purple colour ones as well. I also found that I've got this plain blue as well, this lovely bright royal blue. So I thought that would go really well with the blue fat quarters there. Also actually would go quite nicely with the fishy ones. Actually, I think that might go better actually than the purpley one on the reverse of that. I mean, even again, these purple ones, that would look lovely. So that is going to be a really, really useful one. And then the quilt that I actually made up, I still have quite a lot of fabric left from the reverse of what I made from that, which is this one, if I turn it the right way up, which is lots and lots of little black cats. So that would be perfect to use on the reverse of any of these, just because it would be for the cats. It would work really, really nicely having those lovely cats at the back. I think probably the best ones probably for this would be the little monochrome ones for that. So I've got lots of fabrics that I can use, and lots of like ideas of, you know, kind of what sizes I want to make. I could do, you know, little, just keep it really simple and do small squares like this one here. I could do it in sort of like length of like stripes. I could try doing triangles, all that sort of stuff. I'll be perfectly honest, I think I'm going to try and keep it quite plain. I think I'm probably going to do something like this. I mean, this particular one I'm going to do, as I say, a border around it, or I could just make the squares bigger. I don't think I want to do anything too complicated because quilting is still incredibly new to me. I'm still learning a lot of the techniques. But yeah, I thought just keeping it quite simple like that. But yeah, I thought maybe this with a little border round as probably a basic one would be a good one to go with. I do have some wadding as well. I've got some nice sort of squishy sort of wadding, which is what I used in my quilt that I made. It's a really nice weight. I can't remember off the top of my head what weight it was. I'll try and put it down here. It might have been a 6 ounce weight. I can't remember, but it's a really nice one. It's light enough, but still got a nice bit of squish to it. So yes, that is my plans. So I'm going to hopefully reveal some of the designs that I do. As I say, I may only make, you know, maybe 1 or 2 in time for the challenge. But yeah, I'm hopefully going to be doing it on and off for the remainder of the year as well, because it would be really nice to yeah, give back a little bit to a charity that, as I say, is very close to my heart. So yes, let me know if you are taking part in the challenge. I would love to know what you're thinking of doing. And yeah, hopefully if anyone is interested in doing something similar for the cats, then yeah, just get in touch maybe with your local cats protection and they can let you know if there's anything in particular which they're after. I know that they're always after knitters to make, you know, blankets or like little sort of mice and things like that. So if you are a knitter, then, you know, maybe you can do something there. But yeah, if you want to make some blankets like me, then as I say, just contact them and they can tell you if they need anything, because yeah, I wouldn't say just make them all up and assume that, you know, that they need them. I think it's maybe a bit individual, you know, sort of per site. But yeah, hopefully it might give you a little bit of inspiration. So yes, that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, it would be lovely if you could. All right, take care everyone. Bye.